Hi, everybody. We're going to get started with planning out your second piece for your unified set. And the sky is the limit. That means that you can do any technique that you want. So that is your first decision. First decision is to basically say to yourself, what do I want to do? All right, so I have a couple of different things to talk to you about. First off, if you are interested in throwing, you can try your hand at it. The only problem is going to be that throwing can be difficult and may not result in an actual piece. And we need an actual piece. So, what I would do if you want to throw is attempt 2 days of throwing. And if you don't result in any sort of piece in those 2 days, let's move on. So we'll get that worked out. Let's talk about slabs for a minute. If you're going to work with a slab, you as a level 2 are going to have to make your own patterns, which means that you have to work with paper before you ever go into slab work or into clay. All right. If you can build it out of paper, you can build it out of clay. But it's easier to build out of paper because that way you can make mistakes. With clay, we have to remember something about clay, which is that it can bend and warp and change really in any direction, except if you're smart, you're only going to bend and warp it once, which means that you have to make your plans ahead of time. Let's talk about pinching for a minute. There's some really amazing pinch work that is out there. Whether or not you choose to dive into that is another question. There's an artist that I really like. Her name is Didum Mert, and she takes slabs and she actually pinches the slabs for texture. It's fantastic. Really good stuff. So basically, she uses patterns, she builds, and she creates pinched textures that way. It looks really cool. So any of these can be combined. Keep that in mind. Coil. Coil is one that I don't recommend to you guys for the reason that it takes long and it's also kind of messy. But the great thing about coils is that you can build any form that you want. So this is where we have to go into some things here. We have to say to ourselves, what form do you really want? So what do you want? Like, do you want a cup to go with your plate? Okay, cool. Well, that's easily made out of a slab. You know, that can be quick and easy, and you've already done it. But what design is the end result going to look like? That's the whole point to making art, right? So if you take a look, I have like a quick little diagram here just to kind of show you like you can make any form. So we have a vase that we want to end up making, and you remember this from your very first project as a level 1. So remember that any form can be combined together, attached, and paddled to result in a more complex form. So you have to keep that in mind. So what do you want your pieces to look like? So write down some descriptive words about what you want. All right, take care.